Hello everyone, welcome back to another video where today we are going to be returning to an old friend here on the Tharries YouTube channel, Reddit. The beautiful place that provides us with numerous leaks, rumours, speculation, all that lovely stuff. Now, I've been deliberately dialing back on Reddit-based leak content because I was noticing that people were posting stuff specifically to get into the videos, and if that's you, I mean, go do you, I guess, but this is not really a regular thing I'm going to be doing. This is just something I found interesting. But yeah, with this one, it was, a really, really long, lengthy, detailed Reddit leak. And, so long that, it could all be waffle, but it seemed like there was some actual effort put into it. So maybe it is actually genuine. It isn't just, actually, Shooty Gat was going to be flying to the moon, and there's going to be a zombie, it's actually something that, seems to have had some thought put into it, at the very least. So I thought we'd read it, I'd give you my thoughts. If you do enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe if you're new, that would really help me out. We're trying to get 20,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. I also have a Ko-fi, if you'd like to support me. I'm not in the most financially great of times at the moment, so any support would be greatly appreciated on that front. But with that said, let's get into the video. So the Reddit leak is called The Future of the Franchise. Very ominous. This is on the r/Doctor Who News subreddit. I have info on the future of the 60th anniversary, the future and spin-offs. I work at Bad Wolf with multiple other people as sources working at Disney. Bad Wolf and the BBC, I've met on this project as well as others. The first 60th special will be a loose adaptation of The Star Beast as a B-plot, Miriam Margolyes' Beat the Meep. So that's not really anything new. We kind of know that that's kind of what one of the episodes is going to be about. The A plot is focusing on Donna, the second following a standard episode type with Donna and Wilf, the third being the finale with two as companions fighting the Valeyard. I assume this means that Wilf and Donna are the companions, I guess. Depicted by Neil Patrick Harris. Okay, so this is claiming that Neil Patrick Harris is the Valeyard. I guess it's technically possible for there to be a misdirection where actually Neil Patrick Harris is the Valeyard. I doubt it though. From defeating the Doctor, with a manifestation of 15's consciousness internally helping with a projection of the 11th Doctor, who isn't revealed as a fake until the climax where he betrays the group. Susan Foreman and Kate Stewart will also be in the mix with Mel Bush, who will also return for episodes 5 and 8 of series 14. Donna will also start to die to avoid the ending feeling anticlimactic by just setting her back to the status quo. Based on that alone, I don't have much confidence. It feels to me like they've just sort of combined a bunch of the leaks that already exist and put them together. The whole idea of Mel coming back, Kate Stewart coming back, Susan coming back, all are rumours that already exist. Even the projection of the 11th Doctor, I've seen speculation about Doctors being projected, and the 15th Doctor using that to help out the 14th Doctor as well. None of this feels particularly new. The only thing I would say feels new is the Valeyard talk in relation to Neil Patrick Harris, but I feel as though that's more just a guess than anything else. On the topic of Donna dying, because it'll feel like an anticlimax otherwise, I don't necessarily agree. I think that you can end the story without her dying and it still feels satisfactory. I'm not sure exactly how, I'm not the writer, but I don't necessarily agree with the notion that she has to die in order for the ending to be satisfactory. Also, on the topic of Mel Bush and Kate Stewart coming back for episodes 5 and 8, or Kate Stewart coming back for episodes 5 and 8, it was sort of said that the episode that Kate Stewart was filming for was, I believe, either episode 7 or episode 4, so that's wrong. I don't have much confidence in this so far, but maybe they have some slightly more realistic things later on. Other cast members of the show include Anita Dobson as Mrs. Flood. We know this, a villain who is introduced in the Christmas special and will come back in the finale to torment Ruby. Not initially depicted as a villain, she will be revealed and appear every time Ruby returns home. The 2023 Christmas special, episode 5 and episode 8. This guy really seems to like episode 5 and episode 8 for some reason. Kate will appear for the first time in the 60th special, returning for the third, then episode 5, 6, 7 and 8. Joining as a temporary companion for a unit spin-off with Osgood and Shirley, the latter appearing in the first 60 special, episode 5 and episode 8, and I should mention, with all the talk, episode 7 and 8 is a two-parter. The first covering the Roswell incident, and then the second taking them back to modern day to see how the effects on the future and take down the threat then. Okay, that was very confusing and very long-winded. I think the gist is there's basically going to be, the introductory Christmas special is going to not necessarily reveal that Anita Dobson is a villain, but she will be sort of a villain in disguise behind the scenes, which, I mean, could happen, could be interesting. There's not really been anything that I've heard to indicate such a thing, but I mean, who knows, that could be a twist that they pull. With regards to unit spin-off, again, that's something that's been very, very, widely reported. It could well be that it's accurate, but it could also just be that they've taken bits that exist and are extrapolating that for this, which is what I'm more leaning towards at the moment. The regular episodes will release Saturday night, likely 7 PM, and simultaneous on Disney Plus worldwide. However, to avoid spoilers, they'll be using their new live feature where it broadcasts live, so you can't skip forward. I don't know whether Disney Plus has the capacity to do that, but I'll take your word for it. The platform will also carry all current 39 seasons of Doctor Who, new animation specials within the main show, Dreamland, The Infinite Quest, Sarah Jane Adventures, Torchwood Class, and K9 and Company, with a selection of minisodes previously broadcast packaged under a single show, as well as new ones. It'll have its own subsection, similar to Marvel, with a section on where to start being the last thing to be finalised before the drop in April. The Christmas Day slot is secured. The intention is to do annual Christmas specials. I mean, Russell has basically said this. The 60th specials will also be broadcast daily. I did hear that, so that could well be true. This rumour already exists, but as the 23rd to 25th, but it'll be the 21st to the 23rd, setting the finale with the most returns. I guess that makes sense, having the big finale actually air on the anniversary day, but as far as I was aware, it was starting on the 23rd from the rumour that I saw, but it could be wrong. The most fitting as the actual anniversary episode. Oh, and the main series aim to be April-June time period. Okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I was kind of hoping for like an April launch for Series 14, kind of start of the year type thing. But again, that could literally be just a guess. That's kind of when I've been guessing they would do it. Representation is an issue very close to Russell, and he's desperate to make a more diverse and welcome space in front of the camera and behind it. This has started to take place in front of the camera already, with the Black Doctor being the main one. But bringing Sean Temple Noble back and having a transgender woman of colour in Yasmin Finney's Rose, and both Bernard Cribbins' Wilf and Ruth Madeley's Shirley Ann Bingham, Ruby Sunday will also be a bisexual woman, with the Doctor overtly asexual but romantically interested in all. And he may be a bit of a flirt. Okay, so that's interesting. I guess an asexual Doctor who is a bit flirty, kind of Chris Eccleston-esque, I guess. I mean, I guess you could say that Chris wasn't exactly asexual because he kisses Rose at the end, but you could also make the argument that was more to do with saving her from all the time vortex stuff. But I mean, yeah, that personality would kind of fit shooting at her. I'm glad to hear the words asexual if that is indeed true, because, yeah, I'm personally sick to death of the romance. I really don't want that for Series 14, but again, it's one of those things, it could be so easily guessed. There's not really been anything so far that's been, a hyper-specific detail that's been new and not rumoured somewhere else that I, kind of is making me think, oh, there might be something to this. You know what I mean? It's all been playing it pretty safe for a leak so far. If the rights can be secured, the intention is to build up in Series 15 to a Rani story where she's the main villain. Other old Time Lord characters returning as well. If the Rani isn't the main villain, it'll be Sacha Dhawan's master, who will be in the story regardless. This will be the finale, and see Millie Gibson's exit her role as Ruby Sunday. While Ncuti Gatwa will not be exiting the role just yet, he's currently intending to do as long as possible, but he's a very successful man, so to avoid him getting offers and leaving, they'll try to work schedules around to allow him to do other work. Hence why Block 1 filmed episodes 4 and 5, since episode 5 is Dr. Light, and would allow him to shoot Sex Education, and why his portions of the 60th weren't shot till June, when he wrapped Barbie, and that was the last of the 60th filming. Back to the core paragraph, other classic villains will return in Series 15, whereas only the Daleks return in Series 14, episode 5, working with Albion. The Fendal, Axons, and Censorites, and even Fenric have been discussed, but only a couple will actually appear. Okay, so this is interesting, and I'll tell you the reason I don't quite believe this, and my reasoning is quite simply, Russell, as far as we know, only started writing Series 15 a couple of months ago, and even if you've got all the contacts in the world, I just highly doubt that there would be this many plot details about Series 15 this far ahead. I really do doubt that. I mean, Millie Gibson doing 2 series does make sense. I'm not sure I see Sacha Dhawan's Master coming back. A lot of conversations surrounding him seem to imply that, he left with that era. I could be wrong on that, but to me it just seems like too early to bring back the Master at all, even with a series gap, frankly, particularly the same incarnation. The Rani coming back, it's a tale as old as time. Oh, the Rani's coming back. Is she? Or are you just saying that for a bit of flavour, a bit of spice? Because, we get that every single year, every single new series. The Rani will come back, and then she never ever does. The Daleks working with Albion is something that I've even speculated about before. I did, a theory video on that way back in the day. Speaking of, a villain anthology is planned to fill the gap where the regular villains don't appear, as now the main villains besides Daleks will be new creations or classic reboots, so this will have Weeping Angels, Silurians, Cybermen, Sontarans, and all the regulars. So I'm assuming this is referring to that rumoured monster spin-off that was sort of speculated about and rumoured a while ago. So, yeah, again, nothing particularly new, or at least nothing that's new that seems believable for them to know. Cast aren't the only returns. In addition to Russell T Davies and the Battle crew, Mark Tonderay and Rachel Talali, other crew will return. Stephen Moffat will write, again, something's been speculated. Graham Harper and others to be contracted for Series 15. Graham Harper coming back would be sick. For Series 15, including more Talali and Moffat, I could also confirm that Chris Chibnall isn't done. That is absolute waffle. I'm sorry. There's no way in God's green earth that man is coming back. Every single interview that man has said has been like, no, I'm not coming back, not doing it, I'm not coming back. It's not happening. I'm sorry, I don't believe that for a second. I don't think Chris Chibnall's coming back. He will return to do the unit spin-off to do a few episodes and possibly Series 15. Pure speculation here, but you can imagine that Time Lord finale with a writer's room of Russell T Davies, Stephen Moffat, and Chris Chibnall, for them all writing what I'm about to talk about. Okay, so that is literally just your speculation there. On the unit spin-off and Chris Chibnall writing it, that feels like someone's just seen that he wrote a couple episodes of Torchwood back in the day and went yeah, that sounds vaguely believable, I guess. Yeah, that's what it reads as to me. A 20th anniversary special for The Rival is in the works. Beauty Gatwa and Millie Gibson, obviously, but that's not what you want to know. Sacha Dhawan's Master will be back before the finale here, and Kate will be back. That's all confirmed, but I can say people are in talks. Mandip Gill, Billy Piper, Peter Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker. The special is close to Russell's heart, and as he was the one to kickstart the revival. While there is still some bad blood and communication has yet happened, Russell wants Christopher Eccleston back, as he was also at the launch of the show, and hopes to be able to do it. To close, 2 words, Marigold. If you have any further questions about what's in this post, as well as any other topics, don't be scared to comment, and I'll comment what I know. Again, I just highly doubt not only that there's a 20th anniversary plan this far ahead, with all these names and returns, it also just feels kind of weird to be, let's assume wildly that is in fact happening, that there is an anniversary that is going to have, Peter Capaldi, Billy Piper, possibly Chris if they could get him, all that stuff. It feels really soon to be doing that after you've had the centenary that's brought back a bunch of classic Doctors, the 60th, which will bring back David, and then, a 20th, which would bring back Peter Capaldi, Rose, potentially, and, Christopher Eccleston, and, maybe a couple of others. And maybe, Jodie as well. I don't see it. I just don't. It feels way too soon for that sort of thing. It doesn't seem like the sort of thing that Russell seems to want to do. He seems to want to have a new start, and I think a lot of fans want that. I don't know whether I'm of the opinion that anyone else is, that personally, I'm not really clamouring for a big multi-Doctor story for a while now. I've kind of had that itch scratched. I'm hyped to see David again, and of course, I'd love to see Smith, although he's not mentioned here anyway. But personally, for me, I would much rather just get on with some new stories, personally. That's just me. I don't mind, using classic villains or, some more obscure villains. I think the use of Beat the Meep is a really cool one. But I just think when it comes to things like multi-doctors, I could do with a break. Same goes for things like Time Lords and the Master. You know, just give us some new stuff. You know, that's what I want, and I just don't know whether I buy a lot of this leak. It feels very much like someone has taken all the popular leaks, rumors, you know, bits of half-truths maybe, and kind of compiled them into one long list, and then just added in their own bits of fiction, I guess. But let me know in the comments below what you think about this leak. If you did enjoy, be sure to give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you later.